So my trades yesterday, I ended up taking profit. I was going to stay in them longer, and I'll tell you why I took my profits. And let's have a look at where we are. Yeah. So the first thing I'm going to do is I took 0.5 profit yesterday. It offered me 0.8, and then bought my BTC and XRP, and it was up and down, and then it looked like it was going to turn. And I knew it was going to get pushed back down again, but it was coming too close to the level. I'll talk you through it where I was like, I'm not willing to lose anymore. So it took a little dip, and I said, that's it. I'll come out. Thank you very much. But I'll talk it through. But one thing I want to look first, I forgot to say this yesterday, yeah? Here is, and this is about, is it the bottom or is it not the bottom? Here's the bottom of the previous bear market, and it was the final pull down before prices went up, yeah. And here's the bull run from the most recent. But there's a dip here, so you can map out both of these, the starting from here and starting from here. So when I put the fibs on from the top to the bottom here, I remember XRP loves a 786 correction. So there's that there. When you zoom in, you couldn't, there's the bottom. You couldn't have a more beautiful touch of the 786 on a feckin' macro scale. Absolutely beautiful. It's a really clear sign that the bottom is in. But equally, that's not the review of the full market from the previous bottom, because there's the bottom, and from there it only goes up. So the real target is here. So when you put it here, which I'm inclined to work off this one, because this one is convenient, where this one is the actual real bottom. But when you put it here, you can see that there was a bounce off the golden pocket, the 065, is we're having the bounce off the 618. Potentially we get a relief rally bouncing up to the 05 at 45, maybe even a little bit more. And then potentially we're going to have a dip after that. But if you look at the fibs, the 786 is all the way down here at 1965 or so. And I can see this target when you look at the channel here. And then there's a center line here, and then there's a channel line here. It really does hit that sweet spot sometime around September. So that would be just from where it is, the peak, just the recent peak. That would be a 49% drop, yeah. I believe there's a 30% move coming very, very soon. So maybe we're already in it, just as a step down from here, 28, 29, 30%. That would take us down to 27. What was the XRP could push that down to the 702 at 25 or so. If it went up to the other side, okay, let's do 35 as well, just to be generous. It's 53. If we bring it back to 30, it's 51 or so. 20, because I know 28 was 28, 29. 50 or so, yeah, which would fit in with this support line here. So we're definitely going to have a move soon. And we're definitely going to have a major dump. China is going to default. I believe I was watching a couple of videos. I think there's a serious day coming for China in the next 24 days. 24 days time, potentially China could be defaulting on its debts in some form. Yeah. So anyway, we're either heading up to somewhere around here, or I think we might be heading down to around the 70 to 702. Maybe bounce off the 065. So just as a basic range, I'm talking about that, and it's very relevant now because when I zoom in, now I've gone right in. I was showing you, here's the levels, the white lines, and here's the channel. Here's the green channel that I was talking about yesterday. So it broke out of the green channel, this green channel here, and potentially we're heading down for a third drop. That would make an awful lot of sense. Mountain peak, skyline's up here, mountain peak, third spike, first drop, mountain peak, second drop, third drop's coming down here. Yeah. Now there are times when you get a breakout right after mountain peak, that third drop. This could be second drop. This could be third drop, and very shallow. If that was the case, if we're going to pump up, you could swing it something like this. Okay. Again, you get this cupping here. You can see the cup looks like we potentially could be setting up the handle, and then the pump. Yeah. Possibly. So I'm putting that in there. So now the axis point for that is we've broken out of this green channel. The question is that where is it going to go now? So let's look at why I took my profits. Yeah, got into very sweet entry points here. Dropped out of the channel, broke through this support line. Excellent. Looks like we're on our way. Retrace a little bit. Excellent. Looks like we're on our way. Okay, and then it started to come back up. Back test the green channel. Okay, that's grand. Coming back down a little bit. Okay, now it's coming back up, and it's like, okay, it's looks like it's come back into the green channel. What it's done is the 1 hour had broken. Is it dropped, the first drop, and there's always a retest of the 55, or not always, but very, very often. I didn't think it was going to do it this time. So when I saw this going, I DCA'd in. So what it is that I brought my entry point down a little bit, yeah. So when I started to see it come back up here and do this, it was getting too close to my DCA point. So it took a little dip in here, and I took my profit, and I said, okay, I'll take my profit and secure my profits, yeah. So, but you can see it got rejected off the 100, or the 1 hour. The 1 hour EMA is the crossing here, yeah. So now we've got to drop back down. It didn't break below here. It's back up testing it again. So now, just very simply, the trading opportunity is if it breaks above the 55 here, and it gets above and confirms it's back in the channel. If it breaks above the channel, back tests, and it confirms it, is now we're looking at a super opportunity for a long. If it gets rejected, I'll come back down into the 15 minute now. So now looking at the 15 minute, you can see that this is the confirmation of the pump up, is candles after getting above the 55 and back testing. Now the 20 is going to cross the 55 here. It looks like it's going to pump. So now this again looks like a good opportunity for a long, but I would rather wait to see the 1 hour. Go back to the 1 hour. I'd rather wait to see the 55 on the 1 hour get broken, because it might just be another rejection of it. Yeah. So why am I saying that? Well, if I look at the cascade effect down, there's the 2 hour has broken, and again there's a push. Here's the 3 hour, and again the 3 hour has crossed over, and again it's applying pressure, yeah. But equally, is this, I think, again, back to the decision maker, is the 4 hour, if it had kept going down, the 4 hour would have crossed and again would have applied more pressure. It looks like it's starting to turn here. So if this gets turned away, I think we're looking at a very good chance of the pump up. It'll come back in, it'll back test this, and by the time it back tests this, we should be looking at a nice pump up. So I'm just being a bit patient and watching for that. Yeah. So that's essentially the play of it. So if I just throw out a little bit more TA just to support that. Again, if it gets rejected, by the way, if it gets rejected, I'm still looking at around 32.50 as the target for third drop. So I haven't forgotten that at all. But we just got to see what this wants to do here. Yeah. If this does go again, I'll be looking at the top of this channel as an initial target, and here's the 4 hour. Here's the 4 hour support resistance line. Yeah. But I reckon if it's going this high, it's going to go higher. It's probably going to go all the way up. A good 30% move at least. Yeah. So yeah, this is my same channel start. I'm not going to repeat it. I've just talked through it here. So it's more channel supports on here, but I've already said what I need to say about this. Yeah. Now this is an interesting one. I've been really oh no, that's the MAs. This one here. There you go. I've been really working on layering in the 200 SMA and the 50 SMA lately. This is a new indicator that I brought in to watch. Yeah. So on the 4 hour, you can see the resistance here, and on the 4 hour, you can see the 50 is support, the 200 is resistance. You can see it playing along it. Yeah. Now I'm also testing out these curves. They're like channel lines, but they're just curves. Yeah. Well, look, this one here, I put it here, this curve here, when this line came in. So it came up and hit this line. So it's very interesting that this line turns into a support. It matches this blue line. Yeah. Now this one here, again, before this came in, I put this line in here, and again it came down and touched it. Yeah. But you can see if it's going to break out, is there's a potential trajectory down is along this curve, equally this blue line here. I won't tell you what that is. We don't need to know. We'll just stay local. So look, it's after breaking down through the 50, and again it's back testing it at the moment. Yeah. If this breaks back in and gets settled into it, again, that's another indication that it's working its way back up. So now what's the process for observing it going down even more? So I'm going to now go into the 5 minute on this. So the 5 minute on this is like it's like the crossing of the hour on the 20 and the 55 EMA. Yeah? So watching this go down, it started with this break here, this crossing here, and came back up, tested, got rejected, and here we are again. Yeah. But now when I follow it down, is the 15 minute crossed as well. I said, okay, this is looking good, nice good drop. Now remember, here is the 4 hour 200, and here is the 50 on the 4 hour. Yeah. So I'm watching the play of it here and how this is moving through. So when the 15 minute cross, I really did a nice big drop here. So now if we go to the half hour, is halfway through this pattern here, the 4 hour, is the half hour crossed over. So now the half hour is crossing over, and we got to see it's coming up for a back test here. We got to see how it gets on. There's the 45 minute, and then here is the hour. So in this chart it looks like well, it has, the half hour has crossed over. The question is will it hold, or will it push back down, or will it establish itself on the 50 SMA on the 4 hour? So you can see where I'm going with this. Yeah. And then this chart here is, again, look how much it's moving along this blue support and resistance line. This is a very long-term support line, yeah. It's back to the same thing. Is look at this red line coming down. Is dropping in. This red line, to be honest, if you look at it from this point of view, it looks like it's really beginning to establish itself on this line, yeah. So this could almost be an early indicator, unless there's a rejection here, that this is getting support and it's going to head up. So I think we start to see it lift above this red line again, or this blue line at 38. We start seeing it getting above 38 and establishing itself there. Again, that's a strong indication that it's starting to move up. The only thing I want to show you now is the MAs, because you know where I stand on what I'm watching. So I'll just show you the weekly. Now I'm in Bitstamp, because Bitstamp gives the full history. When I'm in Bybit, it doesn't show me the MAs on the weekly. Bybit's history, it's only been offering XRP trading for a number of years, so it doesn't give the full history. So some of the MAs in the longer terms, there's not enough history in the Bybit chart to show them. But when I go to Bitstamp, here's the weekly. And you can see on the weekly here's the 400 MA. On Bitcoin, this would be the 200 MA. So you can see that it broke below for a number of weeks, and now it's back above. And this here is the 377 SMA. 377 SMA. And you can see that price action is basically, when it gets above the 400, is moving between these two, yeah. So it looks like the breakdown confirmation would be the breaking of the 400 at, let me just put a thing on it, yeah. $34.80, so essentially around 35 or so, where the breakup confirmation is looking much better when it gets above 39.7. Okay, so whichever one of these it begins to get above, it's starting to look pretty good for it, yeah. Now I'm going to leave those there. Oh, hang on. No, this will be a different chart. 34.8, 39.7. I'm going to flick back to Bybit. You see, in the weekly, it doesn't give the same MAs, yeah. So now, what do we say there? There's 37. What do we say it was? 30, 37? Oh, geez, my mind's gone blank. What was it? Yeah, 39.7, 34.8. 39.7, 34.8. Just up here, 39.7, okay. And then 34.8. 34.8, there we go. Okay, so now we just leave them there, so we know what they are, yeah. I'll actually make them red. Okay, so now you can see the range on the daily here is the 50 is down to 35.25, and the 144 and the pi cycle 111 is up around again the 39.4, 39.7. Okay, so let's just have a look now at the indicators. On the daily, the only one that turned now of the dailies is the day. None of the other days turned yesterday, yeah. So you can see the 5 has turned down. 10 is going sideways, VWAP is down. You can see the 20 did a push up here, but the 20 is nearly starting to, looks like it's potentially leveling out here. This is the medial line, the midline between these. The Bollingers, you can see the Bollingers are getting tighter. So again, tighter means it's going into a, these are all going to get tighter together for the breakout. So the more compact these get, the closer and closer we're getting to the breakout. So at the moment you can see the 5 is putting pressure down, 10 is a bit sideways, even the medial line is sideways. While the 20 came up for a push, you can see it's starting to curve a little bit. There's the 55 and the 20. So the vast majority are leveling out, except the 20 is coming up and the 5 is coming down. So again, this is going to create its own, look at the wicks, lots of volatility. Yeah. So I think we can expect, here's the Bollinger being hit here, is I suppose we can expect the Bollinger to be hit here again, and we'll get the play of that. I mentioned in a previous video that when it gets this close, is you start to get this process going on. I'll show you on the 4 hour. On the 4 hour, let me go back to it's up here. Here we go. This here, look, is you can see you've got the lift, you got the drop. The next lift is higher. You've got the sideways, and then before the breakout is you've got one sharp push down and one sharp push up before you get the drop. Now again, the drop or the pump, whichever one it is, but you can see the volatility pattern. You get this swing, you get the sideways, the last final shakeout, and then the move. So now let's come over to here and see how this is playing out now. Okay. So now you've got the push down here, you've got the lift, it goes up a little higher. I thought this was going to top out here, but it came up a little higher. So, but this is where you've got that push down that triggers the volatility. So you've got the push, you've got the volatility going on here, and now it looks, maybe these are the swings. This is the push down. Maybe we'll get another one up here. Maybe this is just a sideways. Could if I actually zoom out a little bit more. Okay, my apologies. I'm not going to count this. I'm going to count this one. Is if we look at the push down here and then this swing up. There we go. So if this is the range, okay. If this is the range here, I'll make this white and I'll make it 4, yeah. And clone here. If this is the range, okay. Actually, do you know what I'll do? I'll take this onto my levels chart, because we will be able to recognize it. There we go. We'll be able to recognize it easier on the levels chart. Okay. So now here's this. Let's say this is the range here. And this is the range here. Okay, let's pull this out a little bit more. So there's that there. And then there's that there. Okay. Excuse me. And here's this push down, here's this lift up. So again, here's the range, here's the sideways. Here's the sideways. Now before the breakout there'll be the volatility, the up and down. So now, could this be it? Is this big enough? Is this big enough of the swing up and down before the breakout? Or are we due a bigger swing? Because if you remember, the swings were higher. It would allow for a push down where we could get a third drop that could hit 34.50. It potentially might even come down to 33.88 or so. What I don't expect it to do is break this. I don't expect it to break below this. This swing up is again now this is before the breakout, yeah. Is we could be getting a swing back up to 39.50. If I wanted to challenge this support line here, 40.29, and you can imagine that either one of these swings as they play out would be making a promise to it, yeah. Because look, if this swings down and breaks this channel, we can be screaming breakout, yeah. And it would nearly complete. It would nearly complete. I'm sure I've already had it in. If it gets down as far as 33 here or so, you could nearly say that this breakout of this channel is complete, yeah. It might even want to come down and touch off the white line here. Possibly. And again, that would fit in with, see the support line here of the arc, is it can come down and potentially touch here and level with this. I don't think it will. I don't think it will. As it moves along, probably be closer to 33.15. So yeah, so you can see if depending on how this plays out here, we still might get our drop. We might get, this may be the bottom of it here. We could get our swing up here, and then after that we could be very, very close. We're getting very, very close to the breakout. It seems like we're in the sideways. Watching for the volatility of these swings. I think the trading here, if you catch one of these swings, is when your profit gets presented to you, I think you need to take it fast, because they'll be volatile. They'll go up fast, they'll come down fast. They'll go down fast, they'll come up fast. So expect, I think, at least one or two more swings, one up, one down, and then potentially a moment of calm before the storm. Okay, so that's it. So just to simply reiterate, just very simply, on the 1 hour, on the EMAs, is if the 1 hour breaks back into the green channel here, let's give it a at the moment the 55 is at 37.50. For a candle to get up and establish itself, is if 37.50 gets established, is again it's getting back into the green channel here and establishing itself. So if that happens, is I'll look for continuation and potentially head in on a long. And again, is I know my limits. I won't be thinking it's the breakout. Is I'll probably be looking to take profit at 39.50. Again, I'll watch it going up. Yeah, excuse me. It may not even break this yellow line here, but we'll see. We'll see. And then on the way down is if there's a rejection. Again, I'm going to flick into the 15-minute here. So here's the 15-minute. At the moment, again, you can see the 15-minute has crossed, 20 has crossed over to 55. There's a candle. There's a candle coming above the green channel. Let's see if that'll establish itself. And how does that look on the hour? If this gets rejected and starts to come back down, I'll watch the 5-minute, and I'll watch to see if the 5-minute starts to turn, because potentially is the 5-minute here is peaking out on an impulse. So if the 5-minute peaks out on its impulse, it's could be heading down. So I'm looking at the RSI here. You can see the 5 minutes staying high for quite a while. Yeah. So this could be topping out pretty soon. If I look at the 15-minute, look, the 15-minute on the RSI is pretty high as well. So this will need a reset as well. So potentially this is looking for a top out, and again it'll come back down. It's just a matter of how much. I'm just wondering with the hour where the hour is. Okay, look, the hour is on the way up. Now it's been, there's a rejection, 1, 2, 3, 4, the hour is coming up like this to the stock. Most of the effort on the hour is done. So you could have another hour, and the stock is back up. The stock at the moment has, the hours have, they've been going up and down pretty smoothly, rather than coming down and staying for a while. Coming down and staying for a while. It goes up, it comes down, it goes up, it comes down. It's not staying at either end for the last two waves. So that would also be an indicator of a bigger move. If it comes up and stays up and it doesn't want to come down, it means it can push a lot more, yeah. But at the moment is, you can see that, I know I said I was finished, but now I find myself going a little bit more down the rabbit hole. Is if you look at the wave here, is look how this stayed down and brought this all the way down, yeah. So now the lift here is look, this lift, look compared to how much it came down, the lift wasn't as strong. Then look at this drop here, nice and strong, and then look at this long lift up, but still it wasn't able to get any higher. So for all these hours, is it failed to get any higher, and again, it got a push back down. Now, this push back down wasn't the same as these two. See, these two got a good solid push back down. This push back down didn't break the bottom, the lower low here. So that's an indication that, you know, maybe this is gonna retrace. Maybe it needs a second push down to get lower. But you can see that the push down was weak here. So now, is this a transition for the up, or does it just need more MAs coming down? More MAs coming down to really get the job done. So if I just zoom in here, okay. I'll just go to the 1 hour first, just have a quick look at the MAs, just to see what the power structure is here. Okay, so look below, and as squiggly as it all is, you've got the 5 turned, you've got the VWAP looking like it's support now. There's the 20, not looking, it is support. The 20 solidly turned, the 10 is turned, the 20 EMA is turned. So this is all looking very good. Now it turned here as well. Didn't have the 20 for this one, has the 20 for this one. Got a rejection. But now look, what stopped it here was the 200, the red, and then the 400, the green. Okay, so they stopped it. But this time around, we have the 20 coming in here for the lift, but now look at the 50 coming down like a hammer. So now the 50 is coming down like a hammer, and the 200s have to take in a dip here. So now they're actively coming down rather than these guys were going sideways earlier. So again, you can see the battle. You can see the battle going on. You can see the sideways of it, and then the volatility of it. At some point, something will snap, and you'll get a blast in one direction. It'll be pulled back down, and then you get a blast in the next direction. So expect that. I really do think it is going to go down and do a third drop. I really do, but it'll be a snap, so to speak, when it breaks, you know. But what I believe and what's in front of me is two different things. So we gotta see it happen, yeah. Okay, so now if I just go into, just to see here, the 2 hour again, you can see it's starting to curve. You see the 20 starting to turn on the 2 hour. The 220s here. The white is the EMA. The pink is the MA. Yeah. What's coming down on the 2 hour? The 55. You see the 200s have to take a sharp turn down there as well. See that there? They don't often make sharp turns. There's a sharp turn on the 200 there. There's the 50. The 2 hour doesn't look as strong as the resistance from the top looks stronger on the 1 hour than the 2 hour. Now here's the support line of the 377 as well. I'm just focusing in right just here for the moment, yeah. On the 3 hour, okay, so this is always very telling. Do you see when you see one of these go off like this? So this is the 50 on the 3 hour going up like this. Is this always indicates that price action is going there. When all the MAs that are coming in come down, and one just decides to go like this, generally what it means is that the price action is gonna wick, at least wick to there. So while it looks like it's going up, it's actually still resistance. But it's a bit like imagine like a volleyball, and the ball's going high, and you got to get a hand up high to push it back down. It's a bit like this. Is price action for sure? I believe is now going to wick to there. Yeah. So that's 37.72. So it'll be interesting to see how price action behaves when it gets to 37.72. And if we go back into here, 37.72 is this 4 hour. This is this 4 hour support and resistance line. So it looks like it's going to go up and test this 4 hour support and resistance line. So we get a bounce off this. It'll be very interesting to see again on the hour. You're going to get a candle coming up to here. Then the back test. Will the back test hold or will the back test break? If it breaks, looks like it's a good opportunity for a short. If it holds, and we see it move on up, breaking above this line at 37.87, it looks like there's a good opportunity for a long. So that's what I'll be watching out for. Yeah, and just a quick, as we go along with these MAs, is any of them the later hours promote, because this is going to happen in the future. This is going to happen over the next few hours and sometime today, later today. Are the later MAs supporting that? On the 4 hour, you've got the 5 turned up. The VWAP is support. The fact that the VWAP is support. Where's the change of the day? The change of the day. There's the change of the day. So the VWAP has been support so far today. The turn of the 12 noon is going to happen in 2.5 hours. In 2.5 hours, the question I'll be looking for when the 12 hour turns is, will it create a shift in the VWAP? Will the VWAP change from support to resistance? Doesn't look like it at the moment. It doesn't look like it at the moment. And basically what I mean is if there's going to be a reversal down and a proper breakthrough, the VWAP's going to have to change. The VWAP's going to have to change into resistance. So it's possible that it'll get a rejection here and we just get this fecky sideways for the rest of the day. And while the MAs won't let it go up, the VWAP won't let it go down. But we're watching. So here is 37.71. Here's the SMA 377. Here's the 20 MA on the 4 hour. So it looks like this 4 hour is potentially going to hit here, and then the question is that how's it going to behave after that? So the next 4 hour, which again is back to 3 o'clock, when it turns at 12 o'clock, the 12 hour turns, the next 4 hour will turn. So it looks like it's going to hit this. It will be interesting because there's still 2.5 hours. There's still 2.5 hours left to go. This looks like this could get there fairly quickly. So it'll be interesting if it wicks here and then this 4 hour turns into a very long wick. Because if you start to get a long wick in this 4 hour, that will be indicating that there's a potential turn. A bit like this one. Is that you got this wick here, look, the next one is come down like this, yeah? So it'll be interesting to see how this 4 hour behaves, and potentially there could be a short opportunity when the 12 hour turns. The 6 hour is going to turn in 2.5 hours as well. Now here is the 5. The 5 is pointing down, but it hasn't turned up yet. So you can see the 5 MA there. The VWAP definitely turned up. Broke through the 55 and the 50 here. getting support on the 144 and the 100. Here's the 20 EMA, the 10 MA, and the 20 MA. Yeah? And this is the medial line. This is the center line, which is also coming down. So this is quite strong resistance here. Again, the same level, 37.72, is oftentimes a break. To get the break down is, here's the Bollinger Band. You get the push down to the bottom of the Bollinger. You get a rejection that pushes you back to the medial line. And then you get another push down, and that's the breakthrough. It failed on this one. Look, a Bollinger got to the bottom Bollinger, came back up, and look, just blasted right through the medial line, and it failed. The medial line here, it hasn't been tested yet, but look at the resistance that it's getting on the way back up. So while it is trying to get back up, there's a lot of resistance here, and it hasn't even touched the medial line. And it's quite possible that this one will touch the medial line, and then the response from it will be interesting. The fact that it's taken all this time to get back up there is, to me, is suggesting that there might be a push down. Yeah, but we'll see. We will see. Just going to flick through these guys now. I'm not going to just having a quick look. If there's that jumping out, this is the 8 hour. It's pretty much the same story, but the 10 and the 20 sort of neutralizing each other a little bit the way they wick here. Yeah. At 4 o'clock, this won't change again until 4 o'clock. There'll be 6.5 hours of a change. Yeah. But if the push down is coming through and this changes at 4, is you could get it pushed through here at the 10, and that will add to it. If the medial line breaks, it'll be the 20 that takes the power, and the 5 turns up and gets an extra lift here. So yeah, I'm telling the same story. Just you can see it playing out over the longer time frames. So I'm just having a quick look. There's the 9 and the 10, because I want to get to the 12 hour, because this is the one that's going to turn in 2.5 hours. So excuse me. So there's the Bollinger. There's the Bollinger, push down, retrace here, actually hit the Bollinger here, push back down again, got a rejection here. Again, if this finishes like this, which potentially looks like it might, it's a pretty strong rejection candle here. You can see the 5 and the 10, the medial line, it's holding at the moment. The fact that it's holding it is also a good sign, yeah. Except for the VWAP. If the VWAP is support, nothing's going to get past it. Think about this as a very simple rule. On any given day, if the VWAP is support, it doesn't matter how much price action bashes itself off it. If VWAP stays support, it won't get past it. So when price action is at the VWAP, unless it flips the VWAP, you get a battle going on, but it won't pass it. So at the moment, the VWAP is support. Excuse me. The VWAP was resistance here. Look how much it pushed down. It turned here, and there was a solid day of down. Yeah, and then it turned, and here we have a half a day here and another half a day here, and it is support. So unless the VWAP breaks, is again there's the argument for continuation. There it is, and potentially back up to the Bollinger again without having the breakout is back up at least to the Bollinger, 38.61 again. So, and then just finally, this is my final, is what does the day tell us? After having that conversation, what does the day tell us? Now I'll tell you this. I'll tell you another day. There's a boot. You see the boot? This is my Asperger's always sees pattern. Do you see the boot formation here? The heel, the ankle, the arch of the foot, the ball of the foot, and then the crinkly toes, and then you have the final toe here. You get the then you have the breakout. Is the consolidation phase in a lot of the patterns looks like a boot, and when you go through, you can see a boot here, and then look, there's the toe, but look, it collapsed. Yeah, so there's obviously a boot. And when you look at the different timelines, each timeline is in a different stage of the boot. It's just out of curiosity, yeah. I'm just in this for fun now. Is you can see day 2 this is on the bigger pattern. There's the heel, there's the ankle, here's the arch, the top of the foot. Potentially maybe this is the ball of the foot, this is the toe here again.
That's hilarious, right?
I know, but once you see it, look, there's the heel, there's the ankle, here's the arch of the foot. Yeah. So now we're going to get a ball of the foot and the big toe here. Yeah, I'm telling you. So when you go to the 4-day, the 4-day would suggest that we got to come down here. That's what the 4-day is saying, just to complete the boot, There we go. So yeah, you can see like this is where one of the reasons why it's funny I'm saying this now, but this is one of the reasons why I think is a third drop here to 32.50 would actually match the boot. It would come back down to the Bollinger on the 5-day and facilitate that, But anyway, I don't think we should base our strategy on that, But you can see it is a thing though. It's a bit like when you TA off the moon. The different moon cycles, there's pump and pushes on the moon cycles. Okay, so on the day, what's the day telling us? Is look at all the wicks on the day. There's been a push down. The 5 looks pretty solid there at the moment. The 20, yeah, look at that wick and rejection there. Did it get up? There's 37.69. Yeah, I can. That 5 doesn't look like it wants to give up today. If anything, to me, it looks like the 20 could be turned a little bit. That the 20 could just be a little bit of resistance. Yeah. Again, until I see it, but it does look like there could be a turn and a push down here. Yeah. Now I'm going to contradict myself. You see the medial line here. See the medial line is getting broken. So remember I said there's the Bollinger. Here's a Bollinger down here. You're getting the swings. So if the medial line breaks, there's a tendency for it to go up to the Bollinger as well. So unless this reversal that's happening now continues, it looks like the 5 is pretty solid today. So that's it. Has anybody any questions? Any basic thoughts on it? All fairly. Look at this. Since we're having this conversation, there's price action after bouncing up to 37.65, and that is on the hour, and it's also on the 4-hour. So now the 4-hour, I reckon the 4-hour by the time it's done is going to get up to 37.87 or thereabouts. So yeah.
I'm in the short at the moment, and I'm watching. This is very similar for Ethereum. So I'm watching this 4-hour. I want to wick off the 4-hour 50, touch the top of the Bollinger, and head down for a confirmation of my short.
Yes, yeah. Well, I think there's a strong chance that this 4-hour will be a top. So I think over the next. You see the Bollinger from the 4-hour is up here.
On Ethereum, it's a bit narrower, so it's only So from where we are now to the top of the Bollinger is only a 1% move, 1.3% move. Don't know what it is to XRP.
It's probably in and around the 377 and the 20 here. It definitely looks like it's going to get to here, and it's getting to here fairly. It'll still be like 2 hours to go. So if it's pushing through this, by the end of this 4 hours, I think the reversal will need a decent wick on it. I think if this 4 hour finishes with a nice full body, with not much of a reversal, there's a strong chance that the next 4 hour will keep going up.
Yeah.
So I think this 4 hour needs to see a decent wick on it, just showing rejection, and there's a good chance of it with these guys here. The 20 isn't going to give up easy. It's coming down to meet it. So its intent is to come down to meet it, not to just let it pass by, you know. And then equally, if you look at this 377, look how much of a resistance it's been, yeah. If it does break it, I think the top then would be, it's probably going to come up and hit around 38, 31. So if there isn't, I
won't be for that long. I'll just come out and then reevaluate.
Yeah. Well, I reckon if the reversal doesn't happen on this, the reversal will happen on this.
Yeah.
It'll be one or the other, you know. So I think that for me, I'll be jumping into a short here, or if it pushes on through, I'll wait for the reversal around here, and then I'll hop in on a short.
Yeah.
But again, on confirmation as well, you know. Very good. Very good. Okay, any more thoughts on the boot? You know,
now that you've seen it, now you can't unsee it.
I'm telling you, yes, yeah. And then you'll question it. You go, "I know it can't be." And then you'll come back and you look at the boot 3 days or a week later, and you go, "Fucking look at that boot's after completing itself." Anyway. Okay, so let's just see how it plays out. It certainly looks like we're coming to a completion point and a potential swing, or else later on today another one. It looks like New York is going to offer some trade for sure. So let's see what it does. Yeah. All right, guys.
Enjoy the rest of your day.
All right, have a good one.